The Green Bay Packers return for team workouts for the first time since the end of the season, and with that, a veteran weapon re-signed with the team. The Packers also released 3 players from the roster. Plus, Green Bay went to the workout for a top 20 draft prospect, despite not having a first-round pick. And we look at some guys in this draft who can help out the Packers' offensive line. I'm Jacob Brandenburg, and this is... It's draft week, and despite not having a first-round pick, the Packers have some huge decisions to make. We've also got some roster moves as the team prepares for later this week. Thank you for clicking on Go Pack Show. I'll have another video later this week after Friday to talk about the Packers' second and third round draft picks. Then I'll do another separate video after Saturday to talk about the 4th through 7th round draft picks. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get alerted once those videos are ready so you can meet the newest Green Bay Packers. All right, the Packers began voluntary off-season workouts on Monday. All the people you'd hope were there were Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, all the top receivers, Tucker Kraft, Devontae Wyatt, and new linebacker Zaire Franklin. It also came with the official return of a player to the roster. Wide receiver and cornerback Bo Melton signed his exclusive rights free agent tender upon arrival. It's a 1-year deal at the league's minimum salary. Now, Melton couldn't negotiate with any other teams, that's the exclusive part, so his only options were to sign and return to the Packers or sit out a year. Melton was originally a Seahawks draft pick. He's played 3 seasons in Green Bay, though. Melton caught 24 passes at receiver before the Packers moved him to cornerback. But then he would still play on offense. He even scored a touchdown in 2025. Melton's also handled kick return and coverage duties on special teams. It's nice to have a player back that can help our team in so many ways. It would also be nice if the Packers would figure out which position they want Melton to play so he could settle into a role. In other news, the Packers released 3 players from the roster. They are tight end McCallan Castles, cornerback Tyron Herring, and linebacker Jamon Johnson. All 3 of them spent time on Green Bay's practice squad last season. Johnson even appeared in 2 games, Thanksgiving against the Lions, and he started against the Vikings in Week 18. While these are just practice squad players, their positions may give us some insights into what the Packers are clearing room for ahead of the draft: cornerback, linebacker, and tight end. Right now, the Packers only have 5 cornerbacks on their roster, plus Bo Melton, who I just talked about, that splits time between corner and receiver, and Jalen Simpson, who's the only player listed on the roster as DB. He's played safety and corner in his career. Either way, it's a position with few proven impact players. Green Bay's corners combined for 1 interception all of last season. Plus, some of the guys, like I just mentioned, may not even play the cornerback spot. That leaves plenty of room to add multiple cornerbacks in the draft this week or as undrafted free agents. Tight end and linebacker are interesting. Neither are real needs for the Packers, but this opens up a spot for a rookie at each of those. Linebacker especially is a spot I wouldn't mind a 2nd or 3rd round pick being used on. I love Edgerrin Cooper, and I think Zaire Franklin's going to be a fantastic addition to the Packers. But one more young, dynamic linebacker to complement or fill in for those guys would be great. Think Anthony Hill from Texas, Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech, or Jake Golday from Cincinnati. They all fit that bill. Currently, the Packers have 8 picks in the draft this week. Comment down below what position you want to see addressed and when. Well, for one thing, the Packers could still use a defensive tackle now that Dexter Lawrence is off the market, traded to the Bengals. And now it's clear, the Packers never really stood a chance for getting Lawrence. I didn't think Green Bay'd be able to make a good enough offer, and despite some reports to the contrary, that's exactly what happened. Lawrence was traded straight up for the number 10 overall pick in this draft. And that's okay. The Packers now still have all of their picks. They've also got Devontae Wyatt, who is a great player, and already added Javon Hargrave, who I'm excited to see play. And if you still want a defensive tackle, I've told you already about several of them the Packers could target in this draft. Go back and watch old videos. Also, here's one more. Kaleb Proctor from southeastern Louisiana. So yes, a small school coming from the FCS level, but his best game of the year was against the best competition. Proctor dominated LSU with 3 tackles for a loss and 2 sacks. Proctor is a former linebacker who's now 291 pounds, but he's kept his athleticism, running a 4.7 40-yard dash at the combine. The reason he'll get drafted is because he can rush the passer, but he could be disruptive as a defensive end in a 3-4 when it comes to playing the run. Look for Proctor to still be available when the Packers are picking in the 3rd or maybe even 4th rounds. Over 20 teams attended a personal workout for Arizona State receiver Jordyn Tyson. That includes the Packers. Now this is noteworthy because Tyson is a consensus first-round pick, and Green Bay doesn't pick until number 52. Now you could say the Packers are just doing their due diligence. It doesn't take much to send one scout to one guy's workout. But Tyson is the type of player a team would consider trading up for. I really like the Packers receiving core, but Tyson would make for a great addition. However, the cost to make a trade up into the top 20, probably too much. Besides, the Dexter Lawrence trade probably messes this up too. The Giants reportedly love Tyson, and now they could take him with the number 10 overall pick. Now let's talk about the most glamorous position in football, offensive line. I know, you're excited. But this is a spot where Green Bay could improve. The Packers used a 2nd-round pick on guard Anthony Melton last year. He was a tackle, but now he's a guard. And a 1st-round pick on tackle Jordan Morgan the year before that. But I personally wouldn't mind seeing Green Bay use that number 52 overall pick in the 2nd round on Friday on an offensive lineman. I think you can never be too good on the offensive line. And as we all know, it's good to have depth in case of injuries. One of my favorites is Jennings Dunker from Iowa. I mean, just look at him. Dunker was a 3-year starter at right tackle for Iowa. He's huge, 6'5", 320 pounds, and has pretty long arms. Draft experts say he projects more as a guard in the NFL because of athleticism. But I don't know. I think he could still play outside. However, with the Packers, he probably would be more help right away as a guard. Dunker would be a good value pick for Green Bay at number 52 overall. That's right around where he is supposed to go, and he probably will not still be there when Green Bay comes back around in the 3rd round. Another guard to watch is Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon. It's been reported that Pregnon has done interviews with several of the Packers coaches. This guy is a road grader who showed explosiveness with his jumps at the combine. He's got really big hands and really long arms, and his tape shows him pummeling people in the run game. Now, Pregnon is a higher-ranked prospect than Dunker from Iowa. Right now, Pregnon's projected to go anywhere from the late 1st round to around where the Packers are picking at number 52. If he starts to fall, you could see Green Bay get excited and make that choice, or maybe even trade up to make sure they get him. Some other linemen the Packers have reportedly brought in for visits are Illinois guard Josh Gesky and Ohio State tackle Ethan Anianwa. Now, both of these guys are 7th-round type options, or more likely undrafted free agents that the Packers could add later. It is draft week, so soon we'll be able to stop speculating and actually talk about real players that are now really Green Bay Packers. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be back later this week, barring anything wild, like Green Bay trading up maybe on Thursday night to get into the 1st round. Be back probably Friday or Saturday with a video recapping that 2nd and 3rd round so you can get to know those prospects. We'll do a deep dive on Green Bay's 2nd and 3rd round picks. Then another video the following day after the completion of the entire draft to go over those guys that were picked 4th through the 7th round, and why not, some undrafted free agents as that information begins to trickle in as well. Again, you're going to want to subscribe to the channel so you find out as soon as those videos are posted. You'll be able to watch right away and learn who these new Green Bay Packers are. Thank you again for watching Go Pack Show, and enjoy the draft.